Today we're looking at the worst instance in Magic the Gathering, or some class of terrible instance. I couldn't find like the perfect example of this, but I think some of the worst cards are these blue instants that always shrink the power of your opponent's creatures, and this one is only a single blue instant. It's Rookie Mistake. Rookie mistake for even making this card. Until end of turn, target creature gets +0/+2, and another target creature gets -2/-0. Some of them like shrink the power of a creature by like -5, but like for whatever mana you invest in this thing, you would have rather bounced the creature or it died or anything else. I don't find it very useful. So let us all know your favorite worst instance. Like we're talking like these cards are just garbage. They're garbo. Why did they even print these things? Let's chant a hymn to our dear leader, Turok. What, a hymn to Turok? Okay, so I have one more. Hold on, where's the second? I'm only slightly prepared here. Oh, formation. Oh, there's a lot of formations. That's the problem. All right, so formation. The only good thing about this card, as far as I understand, is that it's got... You can draw a... Okay, one white, one generic, instant. Target creature gains banding until end of turn. Now the best part of this card is it's like a really delayed cycle. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. Look at that. You know what? I think it's a very cute picture, though. I have been a warrior for over 400 years, and yet each generation of Keldorans teaches me new tricks. There can be no better allies. Taveti of Kelsinko. One with nothing. Is one with nothing an instant? It is! You can instantly discard your hand. And you know what? As much as people want to make use of this card somehow, some way, it is still worthless. This card's still standing at a whole proud $1.50, waiting for its time. You know what's the problem with this card, though? Like, a lot of decks want to discard cards, like Dredge, even Reanimator decks, but they need to keep something in their hand to either like enable a combo. In Dredge, they need to keep some card draw in their hand, or else dredging, putting all the Dredge stuff in the graveyard is sort of useless. The Reanimator deck needs to keep at least something like Persist, something to bring the creatures from the graveyard back to the battlefield. So discarding the entire hand sucks. You don't want to discard your entire hand. Discarding the hand is not too bad. One day this probably is going to become broken. If I were to predict a card, they'll go from 0 to 100. It might be one with nothing, but as of today, that's still not the case. You don't. It's still not happening. All right, what else do we got here? In Yu-Gi-Oh, you can set cards that would be great for this. The year is 2045. Finally, there are enough Root Wallas with Madness. Profit. A turn one with nothing in a Dredge deck is hilarious. Yeah, you're just flexing yourself. But anyway, even in Dredge, you still want some cards that will enable you to draw cards so that you can dredge multiple times a turn. Otherwise, you're just dredging once a turn at your upkeep. And you won't be able to do any better. You know, it makes me wonder. I mean, they can play the red creature, the Ox of Igonus. No, but they still need mana, so you can't really do this on turn 1. You'd have to do this on turn 2. Break Open, says Dem. Alright, let's take a look at Break Open. I want useless garbage for cards. Red, 1 generic, instant. Turn target face down creature and opponent controls face up. You see, today we're looking at instance where people are going to feel challenged to make these cards playable. Under what circumstance and what universe can we even use this? Man, wait, like, and how badly do you need to know that information? Turn target face down creature and opponent controls face up. Don't be keeping those secrets out there. Those, oh man, what is that? What is that creature called? Oh, it's the wizard. It's the 8-mana wizard. That's like a 1/1 or something. I need to know. Is it the 8-mana 1/1 wizard or is it something dangerous? This, you know what? They should have reprinted this in, what was it called? Khans of Tarkir, right? Khans of Tarkir was the one that brought Morph back. Yeah, Scornful Egotist. That's what I was thinking of. Need to know if that Scornful Egotist is lying over there. Khans of Tarkir, I believe it's Khans that brought back, or maybe it was, yeah, they are the ones who brought back Morph. I guess that, well, obviously they didn't bring this back, because this is one of the worst cards in all of Magic's history. Are we putting in every card from last stream? If they're an instant, by all means, you may mention them. All right, we've got, what does Mikey J have to say? Imagine drafting and the rare you open is one with nothing. But imagine if you're playing a mixed draft and you were playing with Return to Ravnica cards, which included dredge stuff. There's a lot of wacky draft. People like those wacky drafts. And stores like wacky drafts because they're like, we have a bunch of loose boosters from all these random sets that are useless. All right, you are already dead. Is that a real card? You are already dead. I believe that is a real card. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, draw a card. That's a great card. That's not bad at all. Well, I think comparatively. Destroy target creature that was dealt damage. It's a little bit... You're obviously going to 2-for-1 yourself because you're probably sending in some 2/2 creature, letting it get blocked, and then just sending the message that they're going to die. But at least you killed the creature and you drew a card. Thanks to my opponent for spending 1 in a red so I don't have to spend a blue. That's right, I don't have to do anything. Okay, Ember Shot. How do I shot Ember? Oh my god! 1 red, 6 generic, and this is an instant. It deals 3 damage to target creature or player. But here's the good news, everyone. You get to draw a card. That's how much card draw costs in red. Lightning Bolt, 1 mana. But drawing cards, we're gonna have to add 6 mana to that. 6 whole mana, holy crap. Dwarves bring poor coal to market. Use good coal in their homes and throw the best coal away. Well, that doesn't make any sense. God. Anyway, I just feel very proud to be a blue player. That's all I have to say. I'm very happy to be a blue player right now. Tunnel. Which one? I hate it when they do this. Oh, God. 1 red. Instant speed. Bury target wall. Destroy target wall. It cannot be regenerated. What can we destroy these days? What are like the most important walls? Not a lot of them out there, but they do exist. We could destroy a wall of omens, a wall of blossoms. Can't hit that wall of denial. No, they're playing around tunnel. Playing around the tunnel. That's bad. That's bad even in limited. Is Pale Moon an instant? I don't know any of these cards. Oh, this card. Blue 1 generic. Until end of turn, if a player taps a non-basic land for mana, it produces colorless mana instead of its normal type. So basically for 1 turn, maybe fog them out? Maybe? It's just, you know what? This makes me feel like this is some precursor to the Eldrazi. Because they were all into the colorless. And also, Emrakul is encased on the moon. Alright, we got Sadie Braun says, Glyph of Delusion. How do you guys find these cards? And does anyone know, like, the worst minus power card out there? I'd really be curious to know. I was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it. I could just find other random minus power, like, instants. Alright, Glyph of Delusion. I'm noticing there's a lot of blue cards on this list. Instant, put X counters on one target creature that target wall blocked this turn. X is the power of the blocked creature. Creature does not untap as normal while it has one or more of those counters on it. Remove one counter during the controller's upkeep. Okay, hold on. I have to read that. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a glyph counter from this creature. This creature doesn't untap during your untap step if it has a glyph counter on it. Oh, so it's a pump spell. I think this is just it's a pump spell, and you double its power, and then it can't untap for every turn that you like, basically for every power that you gave this creature. So if it's like a 5/5, but it's such a situational card. You have to be blocked by a wall. Put X counters on one target creature that target wall blocked this turn. I have to target the wall? So I target the wall. Oh no, I have to. Oh no, okay. So looking at this is a really confusing card. Put X glyph counters on target creature that target wall blocked this turn. Okay, so I have to target two things where X is the power of that blocked creature. So if it's like a 4/4 creature, I guess it becomes an 8/8 with 4 of these stupid glyph counters on it. Yeah, whatever. Crazy card. Crazy useless. Okay, we got Broccoli, Disorient. I'm a little disoriented after reading that last one. Blue 3 generic target. There we go! Yes! Yes! See, this is what I wanted to open the show with, but I didn't know what it was called. I knew it existed, though. Disorient, blue 3 generic instant. For 4 mana, you're soaking 4 mana into this thing. Target creature gets -7/-0 until end of turn. Better believe there's billions of these on the market. One day it'll go extinct, though, because no one needs them. No one wants this stupid card. Bobby says you need to target a creature that a target wall blocked. Correct. For the glyph of delusion. Yeah, I think this is up in there for like the worst cards ever. This is a very, very, very bad card. All right, we got the Reign of Rust. It sounds like a great card. Reign of Rust, red 3 generic instant. Choose one. Destroy target artifact or destroy a land. Entwine for a red and 3 generic. Frankly, this looks like a bomb considering all the other cards on this list, but this is a very, very expensive land destruction and even more expensive artifact destruction. Like, either one of those is like 3 mana. You're almost paying full retail. I guess if you choose Entwine, oh god, it's still not worth it. 9 mana to destroy. To have a super pillage? The super pillage. Gage says Desperate Gambit. We're getting desperate, are we? We got 1 red instant. Flip a coin. Target opponent calls heads or tails while coin is in the air. I love it how it has to specify, hey, call it while it's in the air. No cheatsies. If the flip ends up in your favor, double the damage dealt by a source you control. Otherwise, prevent all damage from that source. That is garbage. So you're just playing, it's like 50. It is a Desperate Gambit. At least it's 1 red, so you at least could double the damage, or you do nothing. Imagine putting that in an Infect deck. At the time it was printed, Rune of Protection lands. Rune of Protection lands? Okay, we're gonna take a close look at this god-awful... Oh no, this is not... Hey, this is enchantment! Disqualified. We're talking instants today. We'll do worst enchantments one other day. But anyway, don't change that dial. I just have to announce today's sponsor, starting with we've got FusionGamingOnline.com here. When it shows up. Remand's not that bad. Remand is bad compared to the past. Anyway, today's sponsors, because you guys love sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic cards. Deal of the week this week. Gotta check the deal of the week every week. 15% off Return to Ravnica, Gatecrash, and Dragon's Maze cards. Things like Cyclonic Rift, that used to be $5 like 7 years ago. when now it's like $1 billion. You want 15% off? You got to get them from FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu, though, for an additional 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel, of course. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Why would you want to rent and not buy? Because it can be cheaper if you're playing with multiple different decks. You want to play with every deck in the metagame. It's a ban list saver. If your cards get banned, sorry, your card's never going to get banned. It's going to be Mana Traders cards that get banned. Mana Traders is the one that gets screwed. You can play more decks, play as many decks as you want. You rent a deck, you send it back, you rent another one. You get that competitive edge. Whenever the metagame changes, you could always borrow the best deck. And you can get that edge by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_B2Q. And now back to the god-awful cards. Alright, do we got some new ones here? Alright, Scour from Existence, Evan. Learning from yesterday, there should be millions of god-awful cards. Maybe we should just, I mean, the last stream about the white tier list pretty much says it all. Scour from Existence, 7 mana, instant, exile target permanent. That's not bad. That's really not that bad compared to everything else that we have here. You could exile target permanent, you can deal 3 damage and draw a card. Anyway, 7 mana, exile permanent. I guess it's in colorless. That Eldrazi mana. We're not as rich as those Eldrazi's here. Doc says call for blood. I'm also calling for blood. Alright. It's a black 4 generic. As an additional cost to play Call for Blood, we gotta sacrifice a creature. It's an arcane spell, though. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Why? Why did I sacrifice my good creatures to kill their creatures? And it's 5 mana! Oh, God! I don't want to do that. Is there ever a time you want to do that? Just leave it on the battlefield. Let it block the damn thing. If it can kill it, it can block it. This is god-awful. Pains me to see this. I have to sacrifice a good... Like, if I had to sacrifice a garbage creature, like a token, that seems like a good deal. I gotta sacrifice my premium champion on the battlefield. We got... Chaos Extreme says, Needlebite Trap. Oh, we're looking at some traps, huh? Oh, man, if this is part... I know the traps... Some of the trap cycle, but I never heard of this one. Needlebite Trap, black, 5 generic. It's a trap, though. If an opponent gained life this turn, you could pay a black rather than pay Needlebite Trap's mana cost. Target player loses 5 life, and you gain 5 life. That's not terrible. It's not great, though, I have to admit. Like, if the opponent gained life, and they have a life gain deck, this card probably isn't meaningful, because they're gaining life anyway, so you're just sort of undoing what they did. So it's a bit of a, I guess, a counter spell to gaining life. But of course, you wouldn't even want to have this sort of hate against a life gain deck. So I agree, this is a pretty terrible card. Waffle Man, Deep Water. We gotta go deep. Enchantment! Disqualified. People bringing out the enchantments. What is with you people? Camouflage, I love it. Oh god, I can barely read this. Oh man, look at this. The Oracle text is completely different from the regular text. But let's try to decipher it from the regular text. You may rearrange your attacking creature and place them face down, revealing which only after defense is chosen. If this results in impossible blocks, such as non-flying creatures blocking flying creatures, illegal blockers cannot block this turn. What the hell? Why? Boy, does this make a whole lot of nothing. All right, now let's read the real text. If this can make any sense to me. I don't know what this card does. I don't know what it does at all. Makes no sense to me. Cast this spell only during your declare attacker step. This turn, instead of declaring blockers, each defending player chooses any number of creatures they control and divides them into a number of piles equal to the number of attacking creatures for whom that player is the defending player, Creatures those players control that can block additional creatures may likewise put into additional piles. Assign each pile to a different one of those attacking creatures at random. Each creature in a pile that can block the creature that pile is assigned to do so. What? They made it worse! They made this more confusing! They didn't say that at all! Where did it say the word random in the original text? Some judge is trolling us. They're like, no one's gonna look at this. And the alpha card is $147. This is crazy. I feel like this is a completely different card. What happened here? Oh my god, this is going in the top 10. Bad Boy Gaming! I secretly watch your live streams. Hey, you know what? I'm actually a huge lurker myself. I actually watch a lot of live streams. I don't say anything in chat. Which is very rude of me, I guess, as a streamer. Keep doing what you do. Thank you very much, Bad Boy Gaming. I appreciate you. Keep up with those unboxings and those, what's it called? You buy those pre-packed cards. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. All right, anyway. Original text is original text is camouflage. Camouflage from actually what it actually does. Gainsay. You know what? I know what this card is. It's actually saw play. You know, in grand scheme of things, this card is terrible by, like, counterspell standards. A blue 1 generic counter-target blue spell. But in standard, it actually was quite useful. Because in the mirror match, you wanted just a hard counter. I remember the mono blue devotion days. So Gainsay, within, I guess, standard was useful, but outside of standard, this is garbage. So you might as well play with counterspell or anything else. It's a lot of good stuff. Blink Moth Infusion. That's the most expensive instant. Blink Moth Infusion. Impossible. Ancestral Recall is definitely going to be one of those cards. What the hell? Okay, so blue 12. This is the most now I get it's the most expensive instant, the most costly in order to cast. But it has affinity for artifacts, and you can untap all artifacts. Power begets power. Completely useless. Today. Maybe one day this will be broken. Maybe one day this will be a card, but not today. Today you're just really expensive. I don't know. Just give pseudo vigilance to your artifacts or whatever. Rapid Fire says Mr. Wiggles. We got white 3 generic instant. Of course, the white instants are going to be the worst. Play before defense is chosen. All right. That I can understand. Target creature gains first strike until end of turn. If the creature does not already have Rampage, then it also has Rampage. 2 until end of turn. What the hell was Rampage? Doesn't have Rampage. Whenever this creature becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn for each creature blocking it beyond the first. Ah, okay, got it. Chaos Extreme with the super chat. Thank you so much. Meditation Puzzle. You get 1. Meditation Puzzle. Instant. It's got Convoke, though. White 3 generic. You gain 8 life. Oh, that's terrible. Don't we have cards that are like 1 mana, you gain 4 life? So how is this any useful? Why do I want to spend 4 more mana, just gain 4 more life? And we all know it's garbage. It's all pointless. Life gain cards, I'm telling you people. Life gain. And there's so many people that are so excited about life gain when they get into Magic the Gathering. What is the default decks people play? They gotta play a flyer deck, a life gain deck, a wall deck? At least the flyer deck can try to win. Thank God. Yeah. So there's a place for all those life gain spells. It's for all the newbies. Maybe that's Wizards of the Coast strategy. Entice people with life gain to get into the game. I'm gonna have so much life, it's impossible for them to win. We all are in that same situation. Alright, so what else do we got here? Broman with the super chat. Force Void. Let's force it. A blue 2 generic. It's an interrupt. It's related to an instant. Counter target spell unless that spell's caster pays an additional 1. Only 1. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. You know what? This is not bad. I didn't know this card existed. This is not bad. Counter targets, it's basically an expensive force spike, but I get to draw a card out of it. Like, it's like disrupt for anything. Whoops. Yeah, so actually I like this card. I'm gonna put this in my commander deck. Like, how often do people tap out to play their spells? All the time. They're always tapping out. I get to counter a whole spell unless they pay 1, but then I get a card out of it for 3 mana. Not too bad. I'm in for this. I like that card, actually. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dark Star, Ashura, Frazzle. Let's go look at Frazzle. Counter target non-blue spell for 4 mana. Okay, this is bad because for 4 mana, you could just counter any spell. Counter target non-blue. The chant was interrupted. The components cooked, and Zoc worried that it was his brain that smelled smoking. Yes, he should be worried. For some reason, he can't counter blue spells. And he can't do it for cheaper. This is terrible. This is one of the worst counter spells. This is just god awful. Alright, we got Evan here. Reverse polarity. Counter target non-blue spell. That's terrible. I can barely read this. Reverse polarity, white. All damage done to you by artifacts so far this turn. You gotta appreciate the old wording on those cards. So far is retroactively added to your life total instead of subtracted. Further damage this turn is treated normally. Okay, and then they decide to add this to something a little bit more sane. You gain X life, where X is twice the damage dealt to you so far this turn by artifacts. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. But useless, too. Absolutely useless. Imagine trying to play this spell in response to a Charbelcher. Not gonna work out. Not the way you want it to. Okay, Mark says anoint. What is this? White, prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn, and you can buy it back for 3. Yeah, this is terrible. Did we see this yesterday? This is just absolute garbage. Okay, Julio says Thermal Blast. I'm gonna blast you with some thermal. Deals 3 damage to target creature. Okay, for 5 mana, and only to creatures. Threshold. It can deal 5 damage to that creature instead. Oh god. We all know the power of red. Red can do so much better than this. And we have cards like Roast now that just roasts this card. Roast deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. Just for you only have to pay 2 mana. I guess this can hit the flyers. That's the difference. Chaos Extreme with the super chat. Thank you so much. Waste Away. Waste Away, black for generic. As an additional cost to play Waste Away, discard a card from your hand. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Good god. Your whole hand, and I have to spend 5 mana for this? Okay, now, here's the good news. Probably by turn 5, you don't have much of a hand to discard, but why would you even want to do that? And black is the color that destroys the creature. It just outright kills things anyway. Why does it have to... Whatever. The thing that wastes away is not the creature. It's actually all your resources that you've been holding. Circle of... Cerise. I always call you Sir. Cerise of Ether. Cerise of Ether. Thank you very much for the super chat. Brand. Never heard of it. Red, gain control of all permanents you own. Cycling 2. I would not be surprised that sees playing Commander. That looks like absolute garbage to me, but I would not be surprised if, like, Summoning Commander played that card to deal with the dick at the table who keeps stealing their stuff. Because there's a lot of card-stealing cards. See, look, we got El Tano loves Brand! Or maybe some people are just learning about this card right now, and they're going to start playing it. Alright, we got Okay, MTG Gaming Bob is going to go for round 2 here with Truce. You've been playing for a while, MTG Gaming Bob. You should know the worst cards in this game. You're one of the OGs. A white 2 generic. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. Okay, for each card less than 2, any player draws, that player gains 2 life. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. This actually looks pretty good. I'm surprised that this is so low. Each play, it's like a way of, it's like one of the few white card draw cards. Each player may draw up to 2 cards. Feature less. Why wouldn't you want to take the cards? You desperately need that life. This is ridiculous. I'm surprised I never heard of this card. It actually looks really good. It's so cheap too. It's like less than $1. Here, how do I show this? It's less than $1. It's 84 cents. Does anyone play Truce in their commander decks? It seems like a card that they could play. There's not a lot of card. Well, there used to not be a lot of card draw for white. Before they complained so much. Then the white players now get everything. They get the most powerful spells at 1 mana. They get the most powerful creatures. I used Truce in my Feldegriff deck. There we go. Okay, we got Robert. Says Jabari's Influence. White 3 generic. Play only after combat. You got it, bub. Gain control of target non-artifact, non-black creature that attacked you this turn and put a -1/-0 counter on it. Oh, good God. So they gotta smack you only after combat. I can't even do this during combat. So I had to have got smacked by that creature. I take the damage. But then it's gonna be mine. And when it's mine, it's gonna be a weaker creature. Look at the sword. It lost its sword. It got broke. It broke me sword. I broke the sword on the Planeswalker. Those Planeswalkers are tough. GP, thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning, Nikachu. Fanatical Fever is pretty bad. Fanatical Fever. So we've got green, 2 generic. We've got some cartoon guy in the art. Target creature gains trample and +3/+0 until end of turn. This is pretty bad. Like, we can almost overrun for this amount of mana. We'll give everything +3/+3 and trample. All the creatures. Fanatical Fever is on the terms of pump spells, pretty garbage. Dead Dinosaur with the super chat. Thanks so much. If super chat is what I have to do to get this awful card on the screen, I will nominate Indestructible Aura as the worst instance ever. Indestructible Aura. Let's go! 1 white. Any damage dealt to target creature for the rest of the turn is reduced to 0. Well, the old wording is garbage, but the instant is basically prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. It's like basically a little bit of a protection spell for 1 white mana, even though it could be a lot better. This is terrible. Only prevents the damage. Can't we protect from the color? Like, that's what white is supposed to do anyway. It doesn't even give hexproof or anything like that. Alright, what do we got here? We've got, we'll get one from the crowd. Donald says, reaping the rewards. I have a feeling we're not going to reap anything here. Okay, reaping the rewards. 1 white, instant buyback, sacrifice a land, gain 2 life. Oh, God! Oh, no! I have to pay mana for this, and I have to sack a land if I want to repeatedly do this for forever. It just makes it gives me pain just thinking about how to utilize this in any deck. But someone out there is thinking, oh, they're gonna swing for lethal, and then I'm gonna reap the rewards. It's not gonna be lethal, and I'm gonna buy back, sacrifice land, and actually, as much land as you have on the battlefield, you can gain 2 life. For so long as all the lands are like plains, we're gonna add white mana. This card is terrible. Chaos Extreme, back in there in the super chat land. Sabo's Decree, good versus tribal, bad anywhere else. To Sabo. Isn't there like a Sabo's Web? Black 5 generic. Choose a creature type. Target player reveals his or her hand and discards all creature cards of that type from it. Then destroy all creatures of that type that player controls. They can't be regenerated. At first, I thought this was just only a discard. This is actually not a bad board wipe. And yeah, it only hits like one creature type. But if imagine you only looked at their hand at 6 mana, then it'd be completely useless. Alex the Bird, double dip. Any double dippers out there? But this card isn't even real. It's a white 4 generic. Choose another player. Gain 5 life now, an additional 5 life at the beginning of the next game with that player. Actually, do you know what? Even for an unglued card, this is pretty bad. This is pretty stupid. He's got the ice cream in his pocket, so this guy's whatever. He's senile. He's got Alzheimer's. He's putting the ice cream in his pocket. He's going to save it for later. He's going to save it for later. I think that's the idea. I'm actually charmed that I've been presented with this card now. Okay, we got Jungle with Dwarven Song. One red, instant, changes the color of one or more target creatures to red until end of turn. You choose which and how many creatures are affected. Cost to tap, maintain, or use special ability of target creature remains entirely unchanged. That is useless! This is like a blue ability. Blue can like switch around the color of spells, but why would you want to change it red? What's the point of that? One or more target creatures. You're already a red deck! You're a red deck playing red creatures! So are you going to turn your opponent's creatures to red? How does that benefit you? Are you playing Circle of Protection red for some reason? This is pretty useless, and it's $4. Is it on the reserve list? What do you do with this? Look, it costs money. It's not $0. It's a whole $4. I guess people just like the image or something. This is pretty bad. Oh, whatever. Wits End. Okay, sorry. We got something. We got we might have something here. Dark Star Ashura says, it's not useless. It's a single red to kill a single phantasmal dreadmaw or phantasmal image. All right, we can do that. It has the power of targeting things. The power! POV when you're at the party in the bathroom and someone busts out a baggie. Okay, I can't relate. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Turn opponent's creatures red. Swing with anything pro-red. Yeah, but you're probably a red deck. You know? Like, how do you make that work? Okay, what do we got? Blue Elemental Blast. What are you talking about? That's one of the best cards in the game. Okay, Consuming Sinkhole. We're gonna look for that the Consuming Sinkhole. Red 3 generic. Devoid. Exile target land creature. Okay. Consuming Sinkhole deals 4 damage to target player. This is great! This is absolutely, this is not, what's a good... Yeah, we're just gonna disqualify this. This is a very good card. It doesn't even have any color. It deals damage to players. This can actually get around, like, you know, pro-red stuff. It also can exile lands every so often. I think this is a really good card. Resupply. You have to explain why that card is bad. It's an instant speed land destruction. It's insane. Resupply. 1 white, 5 generic. You gain 5 life. Sorry, you gain 6 life, and you draw a card. This is terrible. Again, the life gain spells. Why do they have to be so expensive? And you know what? This was in 2014 that they made this card. Don't they know that? Yeah, they could probably make this for 2 mana. It's still probably pretty bad. Hey, maybe 2 mana is cutting it close, but 3 mana. 3 mana is probably the point where it's okay. Yellow Chair. Break open. Nice to see you, Yellow Chair. I appreciate you. Break. Sorry, I wrote break chair. Break open. Let's not break any chairs. The yellow chairs are the best. Oh, we looked at that one already. Sorry, yeah. Target opponent. Yeah, turn target face down creature and opponent controls face up. Completely useless. Do you want to be even worse? You know what? This might be good for the opponent. You turn it face up for them, which it makes it okay. I didn't even realize that the first time around. We are forcing our opponent to turn the cards face down into back face up. We're actually doing their work. It's always going to be a better creature, right? It's always going to be a better creature. So if we could at least target your own morphed creatures. That would be good. That would be like cheating on morph, because morph is probably going to cost more than 2 mana. That's not useless. My friend has a morph deck, but it's turn target. It has to be only your opponent. Turn target face down creature an opponent controls face up. So you can't target your own stuff. The Great Aurora. I thought this is a good one. Hold on. The Great... Oh, no. Or is that bulk rare that I kept opening and I kept looking up online, hoping this was a great commander card, but it wasn't. Yeah, this is that card I keep hoping is like a great... So why is this bad? Oh, no. It's a sorcery. Disqualified. No sorceries, people. We'll have a different... We'll have a separate Coffee and MTG for that. Wheel and Deal. I love the sound of that name. Wheel and Deal. Wheel 'em and deal 'em. 1 blue, 3 generic. Any number of target opponents each discards his or her hand and draws 7 cards. What? What deal is this? And it is a wheel. It is a wheel and 1 deal. So you give everyone 7 cards and you get 1 card. You get 1 card out of this. So how generous do you feel? Any number of target opponents each... Oh, so you choose? You get to choose how many? Oh, I get it. So you could either draw 1 card or give somebody... It's not forced to give everybody a card. So you can give 1 person 7 cards. But you will always only get 1 card. This is definitely some sort of group hug card, or this is a very political card in Commander. Interesting. It's a very interesting card. It is terrible. It's like, it's on the scale of power versus fun. The power is 0, but it's really very hard on the fun side if you have to beat someone. Beats Thassa's Oracle. True story. Oh, you want a Thassa's, you want a Thoracle? You have nothing left in your library. Well, time to wheel and deal. That's what you played this game for. You're gonna draw 7 cards. You lose the game. Thassa's Oracle trigger on the stack. Wheel and deal is literally only for Narset. Yeah, but you still draw only 1 card. I think the whole point of this card is to give your opponent some cards. I think the stock of Wheel and Deal is about to go up because I think a bunch of people just learned this card exists, and it's great tech versus Thassa's Oracle. So this terrible, terrible, terrible card actually has some purpose. Every bad card has a meaning in life. It's also good for Nekusar and Cyrus. I have no idea what the hell those are. Okay, barreling attack. Barreling attack is red, 2 generic. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. That creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature that blocks it. Worst pump. I don't know if I can even call this a pump spell. Imaginable. This isn't even really Red's thing. Oh, it does have trample. There was some like there was some discourse in my comment section regarding trample that Red wasn't a trampling thing. Red has trample. Red has creatures. They're on the beefier side. Who do you think has trample? Just green? Red is their next door neighbor. So yeah, but the cost of giving trample is a bit too high here. Okay, Discovering Reality says bypass morph. Doesn't exist. Damn. Sorry about that. How about bypass? Is it security bypass? Well, it's an aura. Rhystic Shield. It's a white 1 generic. Creatures you control get +0/+1 until end of turn. They get an additional +0/+2 until end of turn unless any player pays 2. Everyone's, are you going to pay the 2? No. Are you going to pay the 2? No. Are you going to pay the 2? Absolutely not. A shield for 1 is good. A shield for everyone is even better. Hell, we could probably... Prophecy is probably one of the worst sets out there. It's like the worst, most recent set, I think. They went back to Trashland after the Urza Saga debacle. They made like such a powerful set in the form of Urza Saga, then they pulled the power back, way back, And they made a bunch of these cards. Man, was this bad back then. Still bad. I mean, it's bad today, too. But that whole set was bad. Fire and Brimstone, says old boy. Fire and Brimstone. White, 3 generic. Fire and Brimstone deals 4 damage to target player and 4 damage to you! Can only be used during a turn in which target player has declared an attack. Hold on. I think they got rid of that, though. So if we look at the errata, they did. Because you have to declare an attack, technically, in a turn. Like, you can't just not attack. Fire and Brimstone deals 4 damage to target player who attacked. Oh, but you have to have attacked this turn. All right. So you had to have had a creature that got in the red zone. I declare attackers. Now, all things considered, white doesn't have a lot of options for dealing damage. So I guess you just... But, yeah, you're still going to deal damage to yourself. 4 to the face. Connor says, Baron's Unmaking. Let's see. Blue, 1 generic. Return target permanent to its owner's hand, even if that permanent shares a color with the most common color among all permanents, or the color tied for most common. Oh, my... I thought it was going to go somewhere. Like, if it shares a color, then you got to draw a card. Instead, it went absolutely nowhere. I read this whole thing for nothing. It's like a novel with no plot, and, like, it's got a bit of a plot, but no ending to it. Yeah, that's... You know, especially since they already printed Boomerang. Like, Boomerang was not just even Boomerang. Was Echoing Truth a thing yet? No. That wasn't a card yet. Yeah, this is pretty terrible. That's a supremely garbage blue instant. Mending Hands by Jake. 1 white. Prevent the next 4 damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. This is worse than that last instant that we saw that would prevent all the damage to a creature. Love the image, though. This is a great image. What are they? Spirits? I love it. But I hate it. I love it and I hate it. Asmodine says Cradle to Grave. Great name for a card, though. Cradle to Grave, a black 1 generic. Destroy target non-black creature that came into play this turn. It's not the most useless, but it is very bad on par for what black does. That's for sure. Is Foxes a real card? They just call it a card Foxes? Oh, it's a creature. It's very cute. It's very, very cute, so I'm going to allow it. The cuteness is a 10 out of 10. There's not many cute cards, actually. I want to own this card now. White 1 generic. If defending player controls any snow-covered lands, no creature with power greater than 1 may be assigned to block Arctic Foxes, so it's basically unblockable. It's the only thing that didn't disqualify this is that it was too cute. Too cute to disqualify. Mudhole. Which is basically this whole Coffee and MTG this morning. Red 2 generic. Target player removes all land cards in his or her graveyard from the game. Oh no! You never know. Maybe they're gonna Crucible a World you to death. Red doesn't have many, like, remove anything from the game, from the graveyard. This is the best graveyard hate Red has to offer. They remove all the land cards. They're gone now. Like, what is the story here? Red destroys the lands, because that's a red thing, right? And what, they want to just exile them permanently, so they never come back? Beats Borborygmos, technically. Yes, it does. Mudhole isn't bad in a land removal deck. Well, I think it is pretty bad. Best against Ren and 6, obviously. Yeah, they printed the answers a long time ago. We just had to dig deep to find them. Makes your the opponent's Tarmogoyf 1... Not even necessarily. If you have 1 land in your graveyard, then it doesn't change anything at all. Oh no, Dredge. Well, yeah, you get rid of the Dakmor Salvage. That is a land. Oh, Divine Gambit. Can't remember. Was that a bad card, though? Divine Gambit. Oh yeah, this card has ended up seeing no play. White. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Well, at least it does something, but you'll probably screw yourself playing this card. That's all. Does anyone have any experience with this card in Commander? Is it useful? I mean, I guess you can wait until they're empty-handed. But if you're playing like competitive Commander, you're probably dead before that even happens. No one gets empty-handed in CEDH. That's just a legend. Oh, it's a sorcery. Oh, disqualified. I wanted this to be real. Sorcery disqualified. Wow, it's hard to stay by the rules, people. Okay, what do we got? Doomblade is not. No, not Doomblade. Doomblade is Doomblade. Sacred Rites. Oh, we saw this the other day. 1 white. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Creatures you control get +0/+1 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Oh, this makes my brain hurt how bad this card is. There's under no circumstance. This is just like a free discard outlet. You know what this is? It's like, it's a strictly better 1 with nothing. You can discard any number of cards from your hand. It's 1 with nothing. It's 1 with nothing in white. It's strictly better, and you get to choose what you keep. See, that's the problem with 1 with nothing, is you have to discard your entire hand. But if you could keep that 1 card that enables your combo, Sacred Rites all of a sudden looks really powerful. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Creatures you control get +0/+1 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Imagine. Yeah, it's white. It's white with nothing. I'm starting to think this. Has no one ever tried to use this card in like a graveyard discard deck? Or maybe there's just better discard outlets for 1 mana anyway. What am I smoking? You just play like something like Faithless Looting, Careful Study. There's a million cards. I'm trying to make this card work too much, but it's basically, and it's what was 1 with nothing? 1 with nothing was a rare. Sacred Rites. So 1 with nothing, rare. Sacred Rites, common. You could get this anywhere. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Creatures you control get +0/+1 until end of turn. So as a bonus, protect your creatures and discard the cards. It's a superior 1 with nothing. I have it in my Baron Glory WinCon deck. Okay, Witherfang. I don't think we saw High Alert. Did we check out? We did not check out High Alert. Enchantment disqualified. Does no one read what the topic is today? It's instance, worst instance in Magic the Gathering. Come on, did we go through all the worst ones? Hanabi Blast. That sounds like an instant. Red 1 generic deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Return Hanabi Blast to its owner's hand, then discard a card at random. This seems great, actually. Great is a very strong word. It's better than a lot of the trash that we've seen today. Sarakas desperately wants to get Doomblade up here. What's wrong with this? It's Doomblade. You literally destroy a creature. This is like what we judge all the other bad cards around. It's a good one. Winter's Chill! I actually know what this card is. Because I was looking at like every reserve list card in existence, and I saw this one. And it was really cheap. It's still cheap. It's $1. Okay, everyone. And you know what? Honestly, I don't even think it's that bad. It's a lot of words. It's a headache to read, but it's actually not that bad. This is one of the cheaper reserve list cards. If you want to own a reserve list card and you don't already, get it before it becomes $100, I guess. It's $1.84. I think it went up. I don't know what it went. I own 1. I don't want to own more of this. I have, because I want like the blue cards. Okay, Winter's Chill. Get this. Blue X. Cast this spell only during combat before blockers are declared. X can't be greater than the number of snowlands you control. So you have to have snowlands in your deck. Choose X target attacking creatures. For each of those creatures, a controller may pay 1 or 2. If that player doesn't, destroy that creature at end of combat. If that player pays only 1, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by that creature this combat. Its controller may pay 1 or 2. If that player doesn't, yeah, it blows up the creatures. So if they're tapped out, Boom, gone. Very little removal. It's actually not bad. I don't think it's that bad at all. Okay, I don't think we did Metamorphose. Metamorphose. Blue 1 generic. Put target permanent and opponent controls on top of its owner's library. That opponent may put an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card from his or her hand into play. Holy crap! What a bad card. It's like a bad Divine Gambit. What a challenge. But you better hope they have nothing. You better hope that they got absolutely nothing in hand. Okay, Plow Through Rito. White 1 generic. It's got a ability Sweep. I've never heard of this ability before. Return any number of planes you control to their owner's hands. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each plane's returned this way. This is the worst pump spell imaginable. You don't even pump up your creature by all that much. What a whole +1/+1. Oh, whoop-de-doo. In exchange of putting all the lands back into your hand. I mean, maybe if there's some way you can utilize discarding those cards later, that would be good. But like, it's just trash. Alabaster Potion. Sounds like a white card. It is. White X. Choose one. Target player gains X life or prevent the next X damage that would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. And you know, and we know that we already have cards that are like 1 white, protection from everything, so it's completely garbage. Love loves Mage's Contest. Love Voodoo also loves Mage's Contest. Red 1 generic. You and target spell's controller bid life. You start the bidding with a bid of 1. The bidding starts at 1 life. Do I hear 2 life? Do I hear 3 life? 3 life, 3 life, 3 life, 3 life. I hear 3 life. Do I hear 4 life? 4 life. I hear 4. We hear 6 life. I got a 10 life over there. All right, so you may start the bidding with at 1. In turn order, each player may top the high bid. The bidding ends if the high bid stands. The high bidder loses life equal to the high bid. You win the bidding. If you win the bidding, counter that spell. Oh, you're bidding to see if you're going to keep the spell or not. That must be interesting in Commander with so much life. Yeah, I'll bid 2. Yeah, I'll bid 3. I'll go to 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a very interesting bad card. It is definitely trash, but it's unique. It creates funny situations in Commander. It's like a sub game. How much life are we gonna spend? Damn! Trap Finder's Trick. Blue 1 generic. Target player reveals his or her hand and discards all trap cards. That's very narrow, very situational. You'd be funny is bringing this in versus a mill player who has the Mindbreak trap. Oh, wait a minute. It's a sorcery. It's disqualified. People getting me. It looks like an instant. It's a sorcery, you people. You keep sneaking these things in there. Siren's Ruse. No one can play by the rules today. A blue 1 generic instant. Exile target creature you control, then return that card back to the battlefield under its owner's control. If a pirate was exiled this way, draw a card. This is great. This is a great card compared to most of the stuff that we saw. Okay, did we see Part the Veil? I'm not sure. Part the Veil. A lot of you people are saying Ember Shot. We saw that one already. Oh yeah, we saw Part the Veil already. Oh yeah, Disorient. We didn't see that one. Would you come late to the show, people? Oh no, we saw that one too. I think this is gonna be like... This might be the thumbnail. Okay, come on, one more. One more before the show is over. Jabari's Influence. Hopefully it's a good influence. Oh, we saw this one. Or did we? Play only after combat. Gain control of Tarn... Yeah, the Broken Sword one. Glyph of Delusion. We did see that one. Thank you so much, Glyph. Oh, sorry, Archaea. That's a whole cycle of glyphs. But just because you super chat, we're putting it right back on the screen again. What, did we go through every single bad card in existence? I want one more fresh one. Boulder Fault. We definitely didn't see that one. Show fell apart at the end. Oh, it's an expensive one. All right, red, 6 generic. Boulder Fall deals 5 damage, divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players. You know what? It's pretty... The ability is pretty good, but the casting cost is too extreme for it. Okay, I'm going to trust that this is an absolutely terrible card. I want to end the show on a bad note in some way. There we go. Okay, Spy Network, blue. Look at target player's hand, the top card of that player's library, any face-down creatures he or she controls. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You know what? It's a bit too strong. Doesn't draw cards, but whatever. Yeah, that's expensive. The old one. All right, I guess we're just gonna end it on Boulder Fall then. That's it. So, you know what? We did see a lot of terrible cards. Cards I didn't even know existed. Just absolute total trash. And thank you for joining me to see that trash. And if you want to see more stuff like this, useless cards in Magic the Gathering, you gotta be here. Monday to Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thank you very much for all the super chats and everyone becoming members. Lets me know that you love the channel. We got to keep doing this morning show every single weekday. And thank you for showing up in the morning. Because without you guys, I don't have a show. I can't think of all these cards off the top of my head. You guys are the hive mind, the Coffee and MTG hive mind. Cardboard Coffee crew. So keep brewing up those coffees and we will keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves and I will see you at the next cup.